Your friend and colleague, Speaker Pelosi, a short time ago echoed some of your House Democratic colleagues saying that we are in a constitutional crisis with these subpoena fights. Here's part of what she said.
Do you agree with Chairman Nadler that the country is currently in a constitutional crisis?
Yes, I do agree with Chairman Nadler because the administration has decided that they are not going to honor their oath of office.
Right, so there's Speaker Pelosi. Meanwhile, you've got Senator Mark Warner from Virginia today, ranking member of the Senate Intel Committee. He says it's not a crisis. It's more of a constitutional confrontation. How would Congressman Clyburn define it?
I would define it as a confrontational crisis. That's exactly what it is. How is that for hair splitting? The fact of the matter is, we are in a crisis. Anytime you have such divisions between the branches of government as we have between the executive and the legislative, and looking for the judiciary to step in and moderate or help us navigate through this, that's a crisis situation. It may not be as big as a lot of crises that we have had as a nation, but this is bigger than Watergate was. All you've got to do is look at this report, and you know that but for his status as President of the United States, this president would have been indicted for obstruction of justice, and there are 10 or 12 different instances in the Mueller report that indicate that. And so that, to me, is a crisis situation. I've studied history. I've taught history. I spend a lot of time researching history every day. Never has the country been in a place like it is today.
Last question, Congress. We're going to be talking to the authors of Politico Playbook here in just a moment. Today, they wrote that Trump seems to be daring Democrats to take the impeachment road. Is that how you see it? And if that is the case, if that's how you see it, then what's the way out?
Well, that's exactly the way I see it. I think the president is calculating that if he pushes us to pull the trigger on an impeachment resolution supported by the party, he will then be able to point to the divisiveness that comes with that. We are aware of that. We are not going to be goaded into such activity. If things were developed as we have seen with his son now being subpoenaed, we have some other venues, judiciary venues up in New York, seeking other things. It could very well be that the public will suddenly come over to the fact that we need to remove this distraction, and then that will be the time for us to pursue an impeachment. But until we get there, we ought to stay focused on our agenda, and we're going to have a big, comprehensive health care rollout next week that are going to, I think, pay for itself with the savings we will be making in one area and the expenditures in the other. And I'm very proud of the way we are doing this. I know that some of our supporters are a bit frustrated because they see things in black and white, but there are a lot of gray issues involved in this, and that's where we've got to be cognizant.